Hi, I'm Anna. I don't know what this video is about. I've just been getting this pull from my intuition that I need to make a video course, but I don't know what the topic is meant to be. So I thought I would just get on here and make a video because if I don't fulfill the pull that I'm getting, or the hunch that I'm getting, then I know I'm missing out on something important, like an important part of my own fulfillment. Um, so yeah, I mean, basically the world needs, I'm just getting all these pop-ups shitting me. The world needs a big paradigm shift. It's going through a paradigm shift at the moment. And so with that comes like we've got to do a lot of clearing out of our old belief systems, our old patterns, and all that mucky stuff that's holding us back. And, that is not always an easy process because it's can feel painful to be honest about, our shit and where we're holding ourselves back. Um, it's a bit confronting, and sometimes it really does feel like really painful, like we're being cracked open. But on the other side of it, you just feel so much better and your life just goes so much better. Um, so I've basically devoted my existence to this because I'm like a really naturally curious person, and I want to like experiment with, reality. And, if I do this, what's going to happen here? And, if I really learn how the laws of nature work, then I can sort of manipulate, if for want of a better word, them to my advantage. So if I understand that this is how something works, then I can make it the way that I want. And it doesn't mean manipulating people. That's not what I mean at all. It's just like, um, it's a lot more, it's a little bit more than just the law of attraction. Like, but there are some basic laws um, on how the universe works. And once you understand them and can master them, then your life starts to get a bit better and easier. Um, so I want to just talk a little bit about that. So, um, we all know that, if you've been in this world for a while, which I assume you have, we all know we have to work on our shit, right? Um, like that's a no-brainer. Basically, and it's easy to know things intellectually, but that's really not enough. So you've got to know things, you've got to understand things on a deep level, and then you've got to know it in your body. If you just know it in your mind, like just there, it doesn't work. Like you've got to fully understand and know it in your body. Um, so basically, um, we're supposed to be clear channels. We're supposed to be able to manifest this, whatever we want, right? But it's the only reason we struggle is because we have so much negative programming, like layers upon layers upon layers of it from the old paradigm, telling us that we can't, and it just messes us up. And so it's really just it's my cat she's scratching the couch, really annoying. She's got her scratching couch and she doesn't need to scratch my good one. It's really about decluttering all those belief systems so we know that, um and most people, what they want most or what they desire most is money and love. And for me personally, this has been my biggest struggle ever. and it's been so like feast or famine. So I'll just tell you a little bit about what's happened. So I was basically in a relationship for my whole life until the last 5 years or so, like serial monogamous. And I had like this really, really bad relationship with my dad growing up because he was like just really mentally struggling and just wasn't parenting properly. And my mum had to go to work and earn the money. And so she did her best, but you know, it's like they were both absent. So I got this really needy thing where I'm like, okay, I can get a lot of my love needs out of a relationship. And this just set up like a really bad pattern because I didn't learn how to internalize self love first from my parents. I went to get it from a partner because I wasn't getting it from them. And I never had any trouble getting a boyfriend ever. That was like an easy manifestation, just click. I think for about 10 years, I never once bought myself a drink when I went out. Um, and I didn't even notice. Like, that's how easy it was for me. And then, but I wasn't really meeting the right one until I did like about 3 years worth of therapy. And then, like, I met someone and got married. But that took 3 years worth of therapy, like twice a week. And then that went really well for about 10 years. And then it went to shit. Um, for a few reasons. Well, both of our shadows came up and sort of were clashing with each other. And then he's like, I don't want to work on myself anymore. This is me, I'm done. And I was kind of like, you need to. And anyway, when it ended, I really honestly thought it's all his fault. I haven't done anything wrong. Like, and then I got like into this relationship with this like super bad boy. And it was just like red flags all over the place. But doesn't really matter because I couldn't resist him. He was irresistible to me because he had a few seduction techniques that were just irresistible to me at the time. Like after the breakup, I couldn't comprehend the idea of being alone. Like it was just terrifying. And he was this guy who would like, you'd go out. I was like parenting and it was like really hard and, like parenting and cleaning the house and all those responsibilities, and this wasn't fun anymore, and fighting. And then I met this guy and you could go to his place, hang out, have a drink, listen to music, have a cigarette, and like at that point that was just absolute paradise for me and escapism from all the shit. So that was just irresistible. But then what happened was like years as we got into it, like after the honeymoon, just toxic, fighting all the time. And then I thought, well, maybe so I got some bad patterns too, like I'm like having all these relationships full of conflict. And my business wasn't going well. Like nothing was going well the way I wanted. And like I was like, I don't want to be a broke single mum. Like I don't want to be in that stereotype. So I did the money course and I managed to just like manifest so much money. But I don't think I did it the way that most people do it. Like, oh, it was just like a lot of key things all coming together. Like, I had all these opportunities coming to me, and I was like, nah, not enough money, not enough money. Like, I feel undervalued. No, 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 no. I kept saying no, 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 no to all these things, and suddenly, bang, my house was paid out, and like I just manifested a fuck ton of things, like $1 million. And so now I don't have a mortgage. I've got a really amazing house, and both my kids are in private school. But I'm still struggling with cash flow because there was more shit to release, and I was still with this guy in this toxic relationship. So even though I've done all this amazing manifestation and clearing like once to get a husband, then well, that's what I needed to do to meet someone I wanted to marry. Then again, clearing, got all this money, but then there was more blocks because I'm still in this toxic relationship, struggling with money, even though like I manifested this amazing stuff. And I was like, okay, so there's more inner work to do. This guy that I've seen was just like gaslighting me a lot, like drinking a lot. He kissed this other girl after we had an argument. So, like lying, cheating, gaslighting. And he wasn't, like, he was just didn't have his life together, like, just still living at home and in a low paying job and all this. And, like, this part of me knows this isn't what I want. Like, I want to have a good relationship with someone that's independent and has built their own thing. And but it was just so hard for me for so long to say no because he just had a few ways of really, really seducing me. But what I realized was he was actually a reflection of my own shadow masculine. Like I was gaslighting a lot of my own desires, denying a lot of my own desires, like what I really wanted, and putting up with things, not taking responsibility for the fact that I wanted these things and going and getting them. So, and I was also carrying like a fuck ton of like just guilt and shame about so many things, and I didn't even realize until like 3 days ago, I think. Like, I feel guilty and ashamed about pretty much everything. And then the next layer was, I've got special needs. Um, I never knew I had special needs, and I figured it out by myself. I didn't get a psychological assessment because I've been to tons of psychologists, and none of them ever picked up neurodiversity, high giftedness, and autism. None of them. I worked it out for myself. And then that was like another layer. And then I was just going through this really painful time of things coming into my reality that I was like, oh, I'd like that. And then just going away. And this was happening for ages. And I'm like, what is it? I went to this kinesiology. She's like grounding me, but it didn't last very long. And then someone told me I need like a lot more serious therapy. And you just feel like, oh, but I've gone and done so much already, but it's layers. So one layer, and then another layer, and then another layer. Like when things aren't working, there's another layer. Um, and so that's basically my story. But basically, what I realized with men and dating is that the men, and it's the same with clients, that it'll be someone that it feels like a mirror, like they're sort of a match for where you're at. Like this guy that I was telling you about, he was like my shadow masculine, like all the things that I was fucking myself up with not supporting myself, not caring for my health, everything like that. Then I met another one, and he was like similar, as in his marriage had broken up for some of the same reasons that mine had. It's just fascinating. Then at the time that I realized I had autism, I had a chat with a guy who also had autism. And so, but like a lot of opportunities that I wanted, which are coming right up and then going away. And I'm like, am I repelling these? And then I realized it's because you've got to have things that are right for you. And it's like flirting. So an opportunity will come up, and you both either want it or not, or one will say yes, one will say no. You both say yes, and then you decide no. Like your whole existence is like dating, and there was crisis point. Like I think it was even like last week where I had been sick with COVID, and suddenly like I had all these really good things booked in as I was feeling better. So I had like a date at this really nice winery, and I had like a job interview for a 100K job, and then I had like a client booking, and I've been struggling for money for ages, and I was like, Friday's gonna be the day that, I'm gonna have this amazing day on Friday. All these amazing things are gonna happen, and it's gonna be like a great way to come out of this illness. And of course, everything went like, because I was clinging to it, everything got cancelled. And then I had this meltdown. So I'm like, it's not fair. Like I've been sick, and then I get these good things, and then they just get taken away, and I feel like I'm being tortured, and I feel like there's a curse on me. And I was like crying, and then I felt like I didn't have a friend I could tell, so I rang my mum. She came up the next day with groceries, food, and then a client showed up, paid me with my little pay rise that I gave him. Then the next day, a friend took me out for like cocktail and ice cream. I've been trying to like have a cocktail with her for like months. And then I felt really loved by the universe. Um, so I kind of knew that I am loved by the universe. Um, like I'm not cursed. Like it's not bad all the time. And but the minute, well, there's a couple of things like if I get too attached to something, it will push away. Or if things are wrong for me, sometimes the wrong thing, this is a really interesting thing that's happened lately. Sometimes the wrong thing will come in and show itself and then go away again. And you think, oh, I want that. But actually, you don't. Or they don't. So it's like a test in a way. Like after I quit psychology, I just keep getting offered psychology job after psychology job after psychology job, and really good money and everything. And it's a test. Like my career was dissolved because basically Lilith came in. She's like, you're meant for way more than this. You can do so much better than this, so much more than this. But yet the job offers keep coming because it's a test. Like, are you really ready for the next level? It's the same with men. Like, getting this one quality of guy constantly, and you've got to just keep saying no to it, no to it, no to it if it's not the level that you want. And that can be scary because then you're in the nothingness. You might be in the nothingness of money, you might be in the nothingness of the relationship. Like, and then in January and February, I spent like a month or two in the nothingness, and it was the most anxiety provoking thing ever. But it was also like the happiest that I've ever been. And I've slowly over the years, like from being really codependent, not being able to be alone at all, learned to fall in love with the nothingness, and then realizing that it's not a scary place, it's actually a beautiful place, and it's actually me, like, and you, like, the nothingness is actually who you are. Um, and if you're afraid of it, then you're still afraid of a part of yourself. And if you're afraid of a part of yourself, then you are going to be holding yourself back. So it's seriously about owning it, owning it, owning it. Like all these things that you've like hidden away about yourself, bring them back, owning it, owning it, owning it. And there were so many things because my childhood was not great at many levels, wasn't only my parents, also just bullied at school, and that just like that had a huge impact on me feeling like I can't shine because if I shine, people are going to be jealous. And it's only been like recently where I've gone, that's just reality. People are going to be jealous. And yeah, some of them will try and take you down. And people have tried to take me down. But just knowing that even if people try and take you down somewhere, you can just go somewhere else because you're so able and capable that no matter what someone does, you're already like on the next step anyway. I think I should really turn this into a vlog. So I don't know if this has been really rambling or whether it's been helpful. I've enjoyed it. I feel like I've got something out. I've I have this need to get things out. I realize, and I need to find the right avenue for it. And this one may be a bit more fulfilling or a bit different to blogging or writing in the diary.